It is. Yes. Yes, that's a very good question. So we distinguish between financial accounting, which has to comply with GAAP rules, generally accepted accounting principles, and then management accounting. And we're focused on management accounting. We want to be as precise as possible. So obviously, there are certain things that you know that Amazon doesn't know, and most sellers would rather not share that information. And that information typically involves a supply chain. That's proprietary information. What am I spending for something? How am I prepping it? What am I paying for shipping? How am I getting it into Amazon? All of that is stuff that most sellers want to keep proprietary for themselves and not share that. And so the Amazon data will get you so far. If you have to structure it to help you. You can look at a lot of ad spend issues, and you can evaluate a lot of things, and you can develop a pretty good P&L by SKU. I'm going to call it a SKU based P&L and other financial metrics around that SKU, including a balance sheet for your P&L if you want to be a accounting geek on this. Is it perfect? No, but it can be pretty good, especially if you have that other cost supply chain data and you have add that together, and then you have the core pieces in place to be able to optimize your financial performance. So it's not all coming from Amazon. Some of it has to come from you, unless you want to give it to Amazon, which they'll happy to take it if you'll give it to them. But remember, Amazon is optimizing for something more global in their platform and for themselves. They're not necessarily optimizing for your bottom line. And our clients are our sellers, and our tools are designed to optimize for their bottom line and their long term success on the platform. And so, and then another factor is, I'm sure you're highly aware of because you're an operator. Cost of goods sold. The cost is a very nuanced question because every time you place an order, your costs change. You can get a better deal. You can do a bulk buy. Should I do this? Am I getting some shipping discounts? Is there some new tariff fee that I need to deal with? So every time you bring new items into your inventory, the cost of goods sold. And that can be a very challenging thing for any retailer to track properly. Restock Pro does have a fairly robust system for tracking cost using a GAAP compliant methodology. But even there are limitations on it, and there are all kinds of ways to configure that. It's not perfect, but what we do is focus primarily on managerial accounting. And if you want to do something GAAP compliant, we can certainly support you for doing that. We're focused on a certain thing, optimizing your FBA business and getting that right, which I think is a big important thing. I'm not sure if that answers your question fully. Absolutely. Love to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Recycle Pro is a great topic. And the OS too, which has a lot to share. We think that, everything's going to be run by agentic AI, but you still need tools like EOS. It's more power there than people realize.